Joining us now is Francine Dick. She's been a certified financial planner for more than 20 years and is here today to talk about RRSPs and TFSAs. Welcome back to the show, Francine.
Well, thank you so much for having me on again.
You know, we talked a little bit before the show, and I really love your story of how you sort of landed in this space. So tell me a little bit about that before we get to that.
So this was a midlife career switch. So I was actually a photographer for 20 years with my ex-husband. And I think once the marriage ended, a personal change led me to seek a professional change. I had certain limitations. I was a single mother, sole support of 3 young children. So I couldn't go back to university for 3 years, or I wasn't able to take any jobs that involved travel. I kept my eyes open, and I saw a posting once for a job in financial and insurance services, and that appealed to me because I really enjoy helping people, and so I looked for it, and that's how it all started.
So in particular, you like to help women, right?
Right. It sort of grew organically. I think because of everything that I've gone through in my life, the struggles I've had, I have a lot of empathy, and I'm extremely non-judgmental. And I understand where people are coming from, that often they're struggling. It's not frivolous expenses, mortgages, rent, groceries, daycare. So I understand, and I don't pass judgment on people. I just try to help them. I think women like that I'm patient, that I am understanding, and that I listen to them, and they feel comfortable asking me questions, which is really important as well.
Yeah, and I think because, people, money is a sensitive subject for all of us, right? Especially if we feel we haven't been maybe doing it right.
Right.
So it's good to be able to talk to somebody who understands and certainly can be empathetic.
Yes,
right.
Absolutely.
So we are in prime time sort of for those RRSPs, right? And
absolutely.
TFSAs. So you're here today. You're going to tell us about the difference. So what's the difference between an RRSP and a TFSA?
So a registered retirement savings plan and a tax-free savings account, they're both government programs, and they were set up by the government to help Canadians save. So with an RRSP, which is older, you get an immediate tax deduction on it. So let's say you're making an income of $60,000 and you contribute $5,000 to your RRSP. What it assumes is that your income is now $55,000. So you get a tax rebate. It could be $2,000 or so. And either you pay less tax if you're self-employed, or you get a tax refund in the spring. And people just love those tax refunds. They really look forward to them.
It's like found money, but it's your found money.
Exactly. You've just given the government a loan, interest-free loan for a year. But regardless, it's still a great way to save. The thing to remember is that with an RRSP, it's tax deferred. It's not tax free. So the money within the plan grows, and you don't pay tax on the growth. But at some point, you have to take the money out. Right now, at age 71, you change it to a registered retirement income fund. And at 72, you have to take the money out, a certain percentage, whether you need it or not. And at that point, you pay tax on it.
Okay.
So with a tax-free savings account, it is genuinely tax-free. You invest money in it, and you don't get that tax deduction. You do with an RSP. The money does grow tax-free, and you can take the money out anytime you want, and you don't pay tax on it.
Because you put the money in, but you don't get a tax break on the money you put in.
Exactly.
Okay.
But then you can take the money out.
And you don't get taxed.
Right.
Okay. So what is the benefit then so is it better to be RSP, TFSA? Does it depend what your goals are?
Right. So that's a question that I'm asked a lot. So I can sit here or with clients, and I can do graphs and analysis and strategies. The thinking is often that if you think you're going to be in a higher tax bracket in retirement, or if you're in a very low income bracket now, then a tax-free savings account makes more sense. Most people will be in a lower tax bracket when they retire. This is generally their peak earning years. So then an RRSP makes sense because you get the tax break. I like RRSPs for really the psychological reason, because people look at it as a retirement savings account. Unless you're really, really good and disciplined at savings, having an RSP, this is for my retirement. And especially now that people don't have those great pension plans that they used to have. So you really need to save something for the future. So people won't touch an RRSP. It's for the retirement. Tax-free savings account, even if it is meant for retirement, it's a savings account. So, we're getting more snow this week. The temperature's getting really cold. It's only the middle of February. Well, I don't have to
Mexico's looking really good right now.
It is. And I don't have to go into debt because I have this money in my tax-free savings account. So people will take it out of there. So, if you can have both, that's great.
So there's almost needs to be almost a level of discipline with a TFSA that you don't. Well, I guess you have to have a discipline with both, but it seems like it's easier to withdraw from the TFSA.
Well, it is, because you don't pay tax on it. With an RSP, if you really wanted to go in and take that money out for your Mexican vacation, you would pay tax on it if you withdraw it. So, yeah, it's easier. That's why it's great to have a financial planner, because if you have money invested, they might have to call me up and say they need the money, and we could have a little conversation about it.
So do you have like these, okay, we need to talk moments, like, these very real moments with women where you say, okay, you're going to have to forgo the vacation this year,
Well, yeah, and it's not, I don't tell them what they have to do, but I just point out, I say, okay, if you want to take this money out for your Mexican vacation or whatever it is, that's fine. But, we've done a financial plan, and you need to be saving this amount of money so that you can retire in comfort. Or if they're retired and taking out too much money, I can say, look, that money is going to deplete faster than what we showed on the plan.
Okay. So you specialize in helping older women specifically.
Yes, that's sort of my market, generally 50 plus, and women who tend to be navigating change. So they may be preparing for retirement. Maybe they sold their home or received an inheritance, or they got a severance package at work. I find a lot of older women are leaving the corporate world and starting their own businesses. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, women who are navigating change in their lives.
Right, and are looking to sort of reset their financial goals and maybe set a few new ones?
Exactly.
Right. Okay, so where can people find you?
So they can find me through my website, which is askfrancine.ca.
And can they literally ask you anything?
They can ask me anything, and they can book an appointment or schedule a call through there.
Okay, so you have an office that you operate out of?
Yes, I have an office, which is out in Mississauga. Most of my clientele is in Toronto, so I'm happy to visit people in their home or office, or get a co-working space where I can get an office there.
Okay.
So pretty flexible.
And are you on any social channels that we should know about?
I am. I have a LinkedIn profile, and I'm also on Facebook.
Oh, wonderful. So thank you so much for joining us, Francine. I hope we'll see you again soon.
Well, thank you for having me. I'd love to come back, and always things to talk about.
What are you going to tell us about next?
Vacation planning? How about that, maybe?
That's right up my alley. I love
it. Okay. Before the summer comes, yeah.
All right. Excellent. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. My pleasure.